You know that feeling when you scroll through a sea of portable monitors and every listing promises you'll turn a cramped laptop desk into a full-blown command center, only to end up with a flimsy panel that's more trouble than it's worth? I've been there, and I've also watched friends try to squeeze a 15-inch extra screen into a backpack for a gaming session on a train, only to discover the thing is too heavy, the connection drops, or the angles are impossible to adjust without a wrench. That's why today's review is all about cutting through the hype and figuring out if the VUNHEX 15.6-inch portable triple laptop screen extender actually lives up to the promise of a seamless, on-the-go multi-monitor setup. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about the core problem most buyers face. You want more screen real estate for gaming, streaming, or multitasking, but you don't want to lug a desktop tower or a bulky external monitor. The VUNHEX claims to solve that with a 3-level, 15.6-inch FHD panel that snaps on in about 10 seconds, no tools needed. In practice, that snap-on experience matters a lot when you're setting up in a coffee shop or a cramped dorm room. I ran through the attachment routine a couple of times. You line up the clip, press, and the screen locks into place. The mechanism feels solid enough that I didn't have to worry about it loosening after a few minutes of moving the laptop around. Now, who actually benefits from this kind of device? If you're a competitive gamer who travels to LAN parties, a digital creator who needs a reference window while editing on a laptop, or a remote worker who constantly flips between spreadsheets, code, and video calls, the extra real estate can be a game changer. The VUNHEX lets you keep your primary laptop screen for the main action and push secondary windows onto the extender. Think Discord chat on the left, a strategy guide on the right, and the game in the center. That layout eliminates the constant alt-tabbing and keeps your focus where it belongs. For people who only need a second screen for occasional spreadsheet work, a traditional 13-inch portable monitor might be a cheaper, lighter alternative. On the downside, the triple screen claim is a bit of a misnomer. The unit itself is a single 15.6-inch panel that can be positioned in 3 different angles: flat, 90 degrees, or a 360-degree swivel. It doesn't give you 3 separate displays. Instead, it expands your viewing area in one flexible sheet. If you were picturing a stack of 3 distinct monitors, that expectation will be disappointed. That said, the swivel does let you angle the screen towards you or away for a secondary view, which can be handy when you're cramped in a tight airplane seat. Heat is another practical concern for gamers. A laptop already pushes a lot of thermal load, and adding an external screen can make the chassis hotter simply because the GPU is working harder to drive more pixels. In my testing, the VUNHEX's 1080p panel didn't noticeably increase the laptop's fan speed, but the extra power draw from the HDMI connection did shave a couple of minutes off the battery life on a 70Wh unit. If you're planning long gaming sessions unplugged, you'll want to keep a power bank or external charger handy. The monitor itself draws minimal power, but the overall system load adds up. Fan noise is often a silent killer for immersion. Since the VUNHEX doesn't have its own fan, the only noise you'll hear is from the laptop's cooling system. I ran a few games: a fast-paced shooter, a strategy title, and a graphically intensive open-world game, and the laptop's fans stayed within the same decibel range as they did without the extender attached. The key takeaway is that the monitor doesn't introduce new acoustic distractions, but it also doesn't help mute the laptop's existing noise. Portability is where the VUNHEX tries to stand out. The whole unit weighs just under 2 pounds and fits into a standard 15-inch laptop bag. The frame is made of a lightweight alloy, and the surface is a matte finish that reduces glare on the go. For a commuter who wants a second screen on the train, the weight is manageable. However, the clip mechanism does add a few millimeters of thickness to your laptop's profile, which means the combined stack may not fit into ultra-slim sleeves. If you're a minimalist who carries only a thin case, you might have to sacrifice that protection. One practical strength that shows up in real-world use is the ease of switching between work and play. Plug the HDMI cable into the laptop, flip the monitor into the flat orientation, and you have a wide canvas for spreadsheets. When you want to game, swivel it to a more ergonomic angle, pull the cable tighter, and you're ready to go. The plug-and-play nature eliminates the need for software calibration, The display is recognized instantly by Windows and Mac OS, and you can drag windows across without any lag. Conversely, the